For centuries, they were the tallest structures on the planet. The pyramids of Giza, built over 4,000 years ago, still stand atop an otherwise flat, sandy landscape. Egypt's pharaohs expected to become gods in the afterlife. To prepare for the next world, they erected temples to the gods and massive pyramid tombs for themselves, filled with all the things each ruler would need to guide and sustain himself in the next world. Pharaoh Khufu began the first Giza pyramid project, circa 2550 before Christ. His Great Pyramid is the largest in Giza, and towers some 481 feet above the plateau. Its estimated 2.3 million stone blocks each weigh an average of 2.5 to 15 tons. The ancient engineering feats at Giza were so impressive that even today scientists can't be sure how the pyramids were built. Yet they have learned much about the people who built them and the political power necessary to make it happen. The builders were skilled, well-fed Egyptian workers who lived in a nearby temporary city. It's likely that communities across Egypt contributed workers, as well as food and other essentials, for what became in some ways a national project to display the wealth and control of the ancient pharaohs. There have been many different theories to explain how the pyramid was built. Most accepted building ideas are based on the idea of moving huge stones from a quarry and dragging and lifting them into place. Let's find out the science behind the pyramid construction. There was an opening of 22 feet wide, 33 feet deep on the pyramid. Those are the evidence of the canal, and there was a causeway also. As per the explanations of Greek historian Aristotle, this causeway took 10 years to build. The project would begin when all of infrastructure are placed. The Egyptians transported the stone used to build the pyramids by boat and sledge. Stone, quarried a long distance from the building site, was loaded onto boats. The Pyramid Temple of Unas depicted a boat carrying granite columns from Aswan to Memphis. Canals, dug directly to the site of the pyramids, allowed the Egyptians to bring the stone close to the building site by boat. Sledges, which resembled modern sleds, and their runners were designed to run on wet mud that was scattered on tracks built from a series of wooden frames, filled with limestone chips and covered with plaster. Large ropes were secured around the blocks, allowing men to haul them directly to the pyramid site. A man sprinkled water in front of the sledge, keeping the mud moist, as it proceeded along the track. Experimental archaeology has demonstrated that fewer men were needed to haul blocks of the size found at the Great Pyramid using these methods. There are 3 known rooms, or chambers, inside the Great Pyramid. The lowest chamber is cut into the rock on which the pyramid was built. This chamber was not finished. The other 2 chambers are higher up inside the pyramid. They are called the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber, but these are modern labels as we do not know how the Egyptians were going to use them. The Great Pyramid has 2 passages, one leading up, and the other down. It is the only Egyptian pyramid to have the 2 passages. The Great Pyramid is part of a group of buildings, called the Giza Necropolis. This includes 2 mortuary temples in honor of Khufu. One is close to the pyramid and one near the Nile. There are 3 smaller pyramids for Khufu's wives. Other buildings include an even smaller satellite pyramid, and a raised causeway which joins the 2 temples. There are other tombs, called mastaba, probably for other important people. The Great Pyramid was first fully excavated professionally by the British archaeologist Sir William Matthew Flinders Petrie, whose work on the monument lay the foundation for any others who followed up to the present day. Flinders Petrie was obviously interested in exploring every nuance of the Great Pyramid, but not at the expense of the monument itself. His excavations were performed with great care in an effort to preserve the historical authenticity of the work he was examining. Flinders Petrie established the protocol regarding ancient monuments in Egypt, which is still adhered to in the present day. His vision inspired those who came after him, and it is largely due to his efforts that people today can still admire and appreciate the monument known as the Great Pyramid of Giza.